Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is that you inky savages are joining us for episode number 183 of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast. It is the new year. Everything is spanking cool. Hopefully this year will prove to be better than last year. So far, so good. I got some exciting news, and yeah, I just found this out literally 30 seconds ago.
30 seconds?
30
Amazing.
seconds ago. Breaking news. The news that is breaking. And yes, it does have something to do with our sponsors, but this one's actually exciting. Check this out, okay? Luxury Brands of America just updated the reads for the sponsorship, which I think is fantastic, right? Because, whenever they don't update it and whenever Bryce gets too busy to update stuff, we just have to make stuff up that's product related and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. He didn't update it. He's too busy. I texted him. He's like, oh yeah, just talk about something, anything. But he actually updated a whole bunch. And what's really exciting is I love how he updates for the past too, right? So I can't rewind time. Like the week of January 8th was already published and we talked about whatever we could. But I got to read this one. The 325 from Laban pen is a stunner of a pen, and no wonder why it's their best seller. So that's right. So Luxury Brands of America is now distributing Laban fountain pens. You guys already know Laban. You can check out my review on the YouTube channel. If you're watching it, then I'll leave the link in the description below. But it's awesome that they're distributing the Laban pens, especially the 325. I think out of all the Laban pens, the 325 is by far my favorite. I do have the green one with the ivory cap and finial, right? Let me read the rest of this. With its beautiful ivory accents and gold trim paired with its vibrant colored barrels, the 325 is a pen you will find yourself coming back to time and time again, and that is true. So it's a cartridge converter, and the midsection of the pen is this really gorgeous acrylic. They come in different colors, right? So they have green one. I love the green one. They have orange. They have blue. They got
basically every color
red.
under the rainbow.
They got purple. Yeah, I'm gonna post these. I'm really excited about it because Laban is one of my favorite brands, and I say that about every pen brand because every pen brand is pretty much a favorite pen brand, but Laban for real. And I love that they're distributing for Laban because I feel bad for the guy who's always at the show representing Laban. Jerry. Guy's 1,000 years old, and he's always there by himself running everything on his own. It's a lot of friggin' work. But anyway,
they have a lot of tables at those shows, and Jerry would always be busting it at that.
I don't know
show.
how a guy at his age has the energy to do that, because I stand around the pen show for about maybe 2 hours and I'm exhausted. He's there.
I think within 15 minutes you start complaining, fidgeting,
Right, obviously. So man, I don't know how he's able to do it, but kudos to that dude. And I'm really glad he has a really reliable and good distributor with people who have good hearts distributing Laban for him, because they're great pens. I love these pens, especially the 325. Like I said, I have the green one. I think it would behoove me to get the orange one because I've been on an orange kick because my cat Garfield is orange. Also, the blue one is really nice. I think it's really beautiful. But anyway, there's another pen that I want to talk to you guys about that is also distributed by Luxury Brands of America, and this one is really cool. I'm going to, again, put pictures up. Introducing the Benu Viper collection, a captivating compilation of fountain pens inspired by the allure of snakes, drawing on the rich cultural symbolism and mesmerizing appearance of these scaled creatures. The collection unveils 3 distinctive designs: Bamboo Viper, Bush Viper, and Mangrove Viper. I gotta tell you, man, you're triggering all kinds of defense mechanisms in my sympathetic nervous system with that. I'm getting attacked by a snake. Oh. Did you know that cats learned how to hiss because a gazillion years ago their natural predator was snakes, so they're actually emulating snakes?
Interesting.
Yeah, I read that on a IG reel, so it must be true. Anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
That's my source. That's my source. IG Reels. Anyway, each pen features a hand-painted snake coiled around it, mirroring the hues of the real snakes they are named after. With nibs available in 4 sizes, extra fine, fine, medium, and broad, and set for retail launch on February 29th, 2024, the Benu Viper collection promises a writing experience that is both elegant and unique. And it's really cool. So the way the snake coils around the pen is, it looks continuous. So and the snake coils around the center band and is the center band. So
Yes.
it's very, very friggin' cool. The colors they have are purple with a dark green snake, a black with a moderately
Like
green
yellowish
snake.
green.
Yeah. And then they have a very dark green pen with a purple snake. They should call that the Joker edition. I mean, really, these pens look so friggin' cool. I want all of them.
They are. They're pretty nice.
Which
I would
do you-
even say that they're better than the Skulls and Roses one.
I gotta go with that. I have to go with that because it's so creative how they have the snake coiled around the barrel and then it continues into the center band in 3 loops to be the center band and then continues coiling up to the head of the snake, which is at the top of the cap. It's really,
And did
really
you notice too that on the barrel it spells out in kind of like an alphabet soup sort of way? It spells out Benu.
Yeah,
is on there.
Yeah.
But there it's like it's in between the coils of the snake.
Yeah, and you know what else is really cool is the texture of the actual pen has this like scaly design. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool. I'm definitely gonna push this one.
I gotta take a look because he didn't mention what the price is on that. But let me take a look. I could find that.
Yeah,
in just a second.
let's take a look and see what they cost. Because I think that this is very cool. Very cool news. Which do you think is cooler? Do you think it's cooler that the news of the Luxury Brands of America distributing Benu is cooler, or do you think that it's cooler that the Benu is launching the Viper editions? Which do you think is cooler?
I think Laban is a bit cooler just because it's a whole entire brand, and I think that they don't get the same amount of popularity and love that they really deserve. Mm-hmm. And I know that Bryce and the Gillettes, the family there, that's the team behind Luxury Brands America, they're going to do an awesome job with presenting and representing that brand and making it more visible for people.
Yeah, you're right. I think that Laban definitely doesn't get the love that they deserve, and it's because they lack distribution. They severely lack distribution. I'm really excited because Jerry doesn't have to work so hard anymore.
And I had heard that he has fallen into some illness. Like that's one of the reasons why he's not. That they opted to go this route. I think so.
Oh, that sucks.
But,
Is it bad?
Our best to him? So.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. That sucks, man.
Yeah, like I said, I think that if you're gonna pick somebody to be the steward of your brand here in the United States, Luxury Brands America cannot do any better of a partner. I think that now it's like how you were saying it before with Bryce. It's like, okay, well, we have to talk about something with our ad read that we have for the sponsorship, and there's just so much to pick from with how Luxury Brands represents so many different things now, including Laban, and they own Girologio now as well.
Yeah,
they own
Girologio.
They
Very
own
nice.
it now, so
they bought it. So it's just straight up. We're not just going to distribute this. We're just going to buy. That's great.
Yeah.
You know what I like about the Luxury Brands of America distribution is that the people that work there care about people. You know what I mean? Like Bryce always cares about me before getting the sponsorship reads out. Last couple of months have been kind of busy for me, and he was like, dude, whatever, we'll figure it out later, just be safe. You know what I mean? And I appreciate stuff like that, just like you and Kieran are with me and stuff like that. And it touches a warm squishy spot inside this pumper. So anyway, I just love that. I love that people are caring and stuff. They care about people first and stuff, and I just got recommitment from Bryce and about 2024 sponsorships and stuff like that, and in spite of like the last 2 months being down, but we're gonna make it whole. We're gonna do the right thing by our sponsors, and we're gonna make up those lost episodes and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited about the Benu Viper. I'm really excited about Laban being distributed by Luxury Brands of America. And if you're going to pick up any of those pens, please do so at Goldspot Pens. Go to Goldspot Pens and use the affiliate link in the description below. Use the affiliate link, okay? Just use the affiliate link.
That's really aggressive. I'm scared now.
Yeah. Use the affiliate link. You know why? Because it helps us out. Anyway, use the affiliate link.
You could take this a kinder route and be like, hey, you know what? You want to go get the Laban or the Benu Viper? You go get it at goldspot.com. No, use the affiliate link. Do it.
And make sure to use coupon code Titanium. Speaking of titanium, I got to talk about titanium stuff today. Use coupon code Titanium after you use the affiliate link at checkout, so that way you can save yourself extra money on all products, most products sold on the Goldspot website.
Oh, and just to follow up real quick about the Benu Viper, it's $180 price point. So
now, if that's too much for you,
you can use the titanium coupon code and then save yourself the $18, right?
Yeah,
that's what it works out to be, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you can save yourself some decent amount of money there. Maybe get like a couple gallons of gas out of that. So, yeah,
half a gallon. Depending on the car, right? So, like, if you take 93, it's probably going to get you, like, a gallon. But
maybe,
anyway.
like, 3 Frappuccinos or, like, 7 gallons of gas. I don't know. Whatever it works out to be. I don't know.
Or, like, if you're in New York City, 1 Frappuccino. So, anyway. But it has to be a small. It has to be a small with no add-ons. But anyway, check out the affiliate link. Use coupon code Titanium. Make the world whole. Especially me. Anyway, I'm really excited to talk to you about some titanium stuff. And it has to do with a pen, more importantly. And it also has to do with customization of fountain pens that I think I was very adverse to in the past. But I think experiences in recent times have changed my outlook on customizing pens. Or in the pen world, what we like to call Frankenpen. So, before we get started with episode number 183 of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast, I want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This podcast is not scripted and therefore will contain potty mouth words, both from Tom and I, mostly from me, so be forewarned. You have been warned. Now, on to the podcast.
The PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. Stay savage.
Okay, so, first and foremost, my good old buddy on Instagram, JJTME, who we appreciate for always writing out quotes from the podcast and then sharing it on Instagram, reached out to me after listening to a recent episode of the Pentertainment Podcast, where I am crying like a crybaby about the fact that the Waldmann Titan, which is a titanium fountain pen, doesn't have a titanium nib. And then we were looking at titanium nibs and stuff like that, and we're like, why didn't they do it? And yada, yada, yada. Dude reached out to me and is like, hey, I got an extra titanium nib. I'm going to send it to you. I said, let me give you money for it. He's like, no. So he ended up sending it to me, and I want to show it to you. Well, first of all, I want to say, Nate, thanks super duper much, because I was already in love with the Titan by Waldmann because it's made of titanium. I am even more so now in love with the Titan because I put on the Bock number 5 size titanium nib in, I think it's extra fine or fine. I can't see because my eyes are bad.
Is there any way you could zoom in on it? No, could you show it closer to the camera? Because I'd like to see it.
I mean, it's extra fine, I think, but it is.
I just love the fact that it's got like that same sort of matte finish that the rest of the pen has now. Yeah. Instead of that polished. Yeah, that looks nice.
And what I got really lucky about is this thing writes spankin', and it sits really well with the feed. Mm-hmm. Okay, it looks really nice. It just matches beautifully.
So
I don't know if
isn't it a Yovo nib that comes with it, right? But you have a Bock that you were able to swap it out. Did you keep the
Yeah.
original feed that's on there?
No, it was just the nib. I just basically pulled out the stainless steel Yovo nib and the feed, and then
Right.
I just replaced the nib, and it just happens to work really well. I don't know if
So it sits well with the feed.
Yeah,
with the
it really
original-
does.
okay.
Flow
Nice.
is really good. I don't know if Nate did any tuning to it or anything like that, but if because of how well it writes, if he did do tuning or adjusting to it, everybody should send their fucking nibs to Nate and have him just work it up, and then he can send it back.
I don't know if he's accepting work or not, but
Yeah, I know. But this look at that. It just looks so nice.
it
It's
looks
like
it looks complete now. I
Yeah.
feel like it looks whole.
it's just continuous. It's all titanium. You know what I wonder though? So in the search for titanium bands, by the way, this is the Sandmark grade 2 titanium band that I bought on.
That's the 200 one.
This is the $200 one. They have one
Okay.
for $329 and it's grade 4. And I was like,
It's at that rabbit hole. You just keep going down level
I
after
just,
level.
like they're like, oh, they use grade 4 for like, I don't know, like medical equipment and all kinds of like important shit, butt plugs. I don't know, who the fuck knows.
Sending somebody to the moon, or you know,
Right, or something like, yeah, space shit, right? So like I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, I'm probably not going to space with my watch, and I'm not shoving this up somebody's ass. So I'm just gonna go with the grade 2, right? Because grade 2 I think is good enough, right? Now, after learning about grade 2 versus grade 4, I'm curious to know what grade titanium is used in the Waldmann Titan. I'm also curious to know what grade is used in the number 5 size stainless steel nibs, or any of the titanium nibs that Bock mades. Good English. Makes.
good words.
Yeah. So anyway, I know in the past, whenever it would be like, oh, I'm going to put a nib that's not the brand nib into the pen, or doesn't have the logo like it did when it originally started, it would drive me nuts. But I've changed, man. I have
Well, that looks
changed.
so awesome put together with the titanium nib. I would easily look over the fact that it's got a different brand mark on there.
Yeah, I mean, it has the Bock nib.
That's the Bock, yeah.
markings on
The
it.
Bock, was it a goat? There's something down there.
I don't know. It's
the Bock
it's,
goat.
Yeah, gazelle or some shit.
Gazelle.
But you know what it is? I'm open to it now, right? So I've decided, you know what? I'll Frankenpen the shit out of other things, because you can make better stuff. Maybe sometimes if you jerry rig and Frankenpen and customize your stuff. I'm not saying you should do that all the time, right? So I think I'm more open to it now than I ever was, and this pen has catapulted me into that sphere of thinking where I'm like, you know what? If a nib works better, even though it's not the same brand marking and all that stuff, I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it. I like to live on the edge.
Be
I'm
bold.
Yeah, because this pen just looks too awesome. Can you imagine if I just wouldn't allow it because of my OCD, anal retentiveness? I'd be missing out on this.
Yes.
And then it made me decide, you know what? There is too much goodness
You have to
in
just
being
let it go.
open-minded, right? That
Yeah,
I
you
have to let it go. Look at
Expand
this
your
thing.
horizons.
Look at this. It is sexy. I mean, if this pen, like if I were a pen and pens made babies the way people made babies, I would totally want to make a baby with this pen.
Ooh, okay. How does that happen?
I don't know. I made a video about that one time. About how the Conklin Nighthawk and the Conklin, I think.
Oh yeah. I remember that, where this like, oh, if they made the baby, this would
Yeah.
be the pen that they would have made. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that would work, but it would be in the rated X section of like
First,
the video
I just
store.
want to take a moment to say thank you, Nate, because I always find it's a little bolstering to my own ego, and I feel like it's a win for me if ever that he ends up picking my quote over yours for the episode. Mm-hmm. So it just gives me a little bit of a boost. I just want to let him know.
Yeah,
that.
pick Tom's quotes. If Tom, pick Tom's quotes even though they're nowhere near as witty and clever as mine, just, you know what I mean? It's like, you need boring stuff out there too, right? So
I think we
it
need
can't
to take a
always
tally of like how many quotes he picked from me and then how many from you. Sometimes the discussion back and forth, if it's like simple, like one-liner sentences back and forth, if it makes sense. But most of the times it's like either you or I saying it.
Right. Did you ever like see one of the quotes that he posts and you're like, did I fucking say that? I don't remember saying that. Why would I say something that dumb? Because that happens to me a lot.
Takes a second. Yeah, I think it takes a second for me to realize, especially if we record the episode like a week before or something, and it just drops several days later. I'm like, oh yeah, we had that discussion, and I said something to that. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah,
sounds right.
yeah. But I honestly think that I just like the fact that he listens and then things jump out at him, whether it's you or me. I think it's awesome and stuff like that. It's meaningful, one way or another, and it tells me that he listens to the little nuances of each of our personalities, right? So the reason why I like that, we do a lot of
these things and we don't even realize. I mean, we sometimes see the impact of it in one form or another, but it's a lot different than, let's say, if we were doing this in front of an audience and you could physically see the number of people that attend every time. But we're recording this, we put it out on the internet, and you get comments, you see the view counts, but really it hits home when somebody picks out this really obscure quote that you just said and then writes it and then posts it online for everybody to see, or puts a comment, stuff like that. Then you're like, oh yeah, people are paying attention.
Yeah. Well, more than that is just that, I feel like even though he's never physically met us or we never talked to him, he's listened to the podcast enough to get the nuances, the minutia nuances about our personalities that make us who we are, and then he puts it out, right? So like he's identifying things that a friend would identify, right? So he's been with us long enough that he knows us, right? So like there's nothing, I don't think that if we ever went to a show and we sat down and ate with him, we would surprise him with our personalities. I think he would be totally like, it's like he already knew us. You know what I mean? It's like the first time I met Vanessa Langton, I already knew who she was, right? It's like we were hanging out, and it's like, the first time we met, it was like, listen, this is the first time I've met you in person, but I feel like I already know you. You know what I mean? And it makes me curious to know or to meet other listeners, right? Like Caitlin's super dad. He's got to be a hilarious dude to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like he's the kind of guy that you would hang out, go out, have a blast of a night, and then someone's getting arrested for some sort of like, disorderly like misbehavior or something like that. So, I mean,
I would think the more likely story is that then you would, let's say, get arrested, and then all of a sudden, for the next 2 weeks, memes pop up about you getting arrested.
Right.
All the compromising photos that were coming from that evening.
It'll be like the end credits of Hangover or something.
Hangover,
like that,
yeah,
right?
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm just really excited about this pen, the Titan. I really think. I just wish that they offered this nib out of the box, right?
Yeah, titanium nib right out of the box.
That would be great. That would be awesome.
I think it's doable, too, because I've seen Leonardo's have titanium nibs, too.
Yeah, but I think it would jack the price up pretty significantly, So I think, Nate, because of you, I have grown into a mindset where I am now willing to Frankenpen the bejesus out of my pens. And it's largely because that. It's also because I was actually, so as you know, my birthday is in, past.
In the vicinity
of time. And you know what? For my birthday, I decided, you know what I want to do? I want to build out an M4.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? I want to build out my own like custom M4. So like I was just like, you know, I bought 2 lower receivers from Aero Precision. I bought a bolt carrier from Aero Precision. I got an upper from Sons of Liberty, 2 uppers from Sons of Liberty, because, you know, I wanna build one out for myself and one for my wife, because you never know when the zombie apocalypse is going to happen, and the zombie apocalypse could very well happen, right?
It could transform from the pen flu that were the fountain pen virus could somehow jump over.
No.
You know, transmute some genes might then turn into the zombie apocalypse. No. Okay.
Nope. There is no
the ink
way.
Gets tainted with the No. Okay.
There is nothing about the fountain pen virus that'll ever turn into something bad. It can
if anything, it will cure the zombie apocalypse.
The zombie apocalypse, right? So that's why we need to get more people into it, right? So
but anyway,
going
instead
back
we
to
just need to we need to load up pens with ink and then just jab them into the zombies, and that will cure them.
Probably. More than likely. I think that's a scientific approach. But anyway, I was building out this M4, and I used a HoloSun scope on it. I attached different brand grips to the Picatinny rail. I have, you know, different like customized slings. I got different triggers for them and stuff like that. Everything is just nothing is the same, other than the lower receiver being Aero Precision and the bolt carrier being nickel boron Aero Precision, what it's made of, nickel boron.
All of these things you're just throwing at me is just going way over.
Well,
my head.
like the bolt carrier is pretty much the engine of the M4. So nickel boron is it's like a non-stick pan. So when you go to clean something, it's easier to clean and stuff like that. So
okay,
you know, I felt like, you know, I want something cool, so I did that.
So you modded it up like crazy, not just a nib. You did the whole like 9, like everything got modified,
like all the little springs and pieces and stuff like that, and it's just a fun. I used a Magpul stock, that adjustable stock. It's really cool. I spent a lot of, now that I think about it, I'm like, listen, tactics.
That could have been a lot of pens. That could have been a lot
tactics
of pens.
and stuff like that, like the training and everything that goes into it is a perishable skill. So, you know, technically it's for work, right? So definitely it's for, because you never know, I'm retiring in about 4 years. You know, I might want to be, you know, involved in tactics instructions or you know, something involving that. I don't know. But anyway, I thought it was really cool. That was for my birthday. I also, for the zombie apocalypse, I also picked up a Keltec KSG bullpup shotgun. It has double magazine tubes. It has, and I customized that one too. So I put a sight mark reflex sight on top. I put a UTG vertical grip on the bottom. Actually, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of room for customization on that thing, but it looks really cool. And it's, you know, I've played enough Resident Evil to know, and I've seen enough zombie movies to know, during a zombie apocalypse, shotguns are the way to go. The only problem is, in Resident Evil, they had like incendiary rounds, they had like acid rounds that would kill Nemesis. They don't actually really exist. Did you know that?
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah,
but
I
anyway,
kind of figured that was a work of fiction.
Right. Maybe it was.
Just as you could carry all of that stuff on you, but yet you don't have a backpack at all. Like it's just you, and then you open up your inventory screen and look, you've got like, you know, handguns and shotguns, and then these herbs
and these herbs that you mix. And somehow,
the herbs
like,
were in pots.
Right. So, and then you can sustain injuries that cause you to bleed and limp. And then just like mix the red, the green, and the blue herb together, and then after you mix it,
something
like,
happened.
Like, what happens to that herb? Are you eating it? Are you snorting it? Whatever. But it just gives you, you're back to 100%, and it's all feasible and possible.
No longer limping, you're able to run away from the zombies and everything.
Your broken bones and stuff like that. Here's my thing, though. If a zombie bite causes you to turn into a zombie, and you can survive that zombie bite by taking the combination of the 3 herbs, isn't that the cure?
Potentially.
Right? Like Leon S. Kennedy got bitten by zombies and
You remember his middle initial, Leon S. Kennedy.
Yeah. Who doesn't remember Leon S. Kennedy? And the main protagonist of Resident Evil 2.
Was it Claire? Claire was the other one?
Claire Redfield was also there. Yeah. But anyway, I think that the customization of experience that I had with the Titan, and as well as the customization I did with the M4s, really just made me think, you know what? This kind of customization is beneficial. And it's not just beneficial to one thing or two things. It's beneficial to all things, right? Because you can get very creative with how you customize something. And this is the backbone of the creative customization birth in the brain. And this titanium nib, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Look at it. It is just keep looking at it. You are feeling sleepy. Yeah.
I got something to take a look at too. This is
what do you got
remember
there?
This guy? So you remember this guy? This is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande that I picked up last year. I put, which you could kind of see. This is gold plated, and I put it, and I have a silver trim. Which, I mean, yeah, it kind of bothers me, but it's got red ink all over it. So this is the Ralph Reyes Crossflex nib.
Okay.
So Ralph had done a line of Ikaku pens that Gold Spot sold out of. I think it's at this point sold out. They have his Crossflex nib, which is a really amazing flexible nib that he hand does every single one of them. It's got an ebonite feed on it. And so what happened was I took it off of. Well, actually, what he did was after I did an interview with him, we got to be pretty friendly and stuff. And he actually made this one nib for me for Christmas, and
that's nice.
And instead of fitting it on a Ikaku pen, I decided to try it on the Leonardo to see if that would work, because it's a Yovo housing that screws in. And it works. So wow. I was pretty happy that, I mean, it's kind of like, as you can see with like the ink being on the grip section here, I think it's a little, I think I've been traveling around with it in my bag, so it kind of gets a little weepy, like a little bit of ink comes out,
sure,
whatever.
Sure.
But,
especially it's a very wet nib, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So but it writes beautifully. I love it. And it's super, super flexible. It's a stainless steel nib, but what he does to it is magic, because it is probably softer than most of the gold nibs I've ever written with. It's that soft and pliable.
You said it's plated gold, meaning it's steel, just plated gold?
Yeah, steel plated gold. So it doesn't match the trim, which is, Frankenpenning that it kind of bothers my sense of aesthetics that the nib doesn't match the trim. I know it certainly would bother yours, but it doesn't have any branding on there, so at least there's that. But yeah, it's gold and the trim silver, and that's where I'm at on that. But I love the way it writes, so I can't complain.
Right. No, I mean, listen, see, but that's something that would drive me crazy. And but you know what? Now that I've opened my eyes and am open-minded to customization, maybe it won't drive me crazy as much. Right?
Yeah, so. I just figure, I mean, I just love the way it writes, and I am just gonna use it just to have fun with it, and I'm gonna be fine with it. I'll be fine. Maybe I might get a pen that uses a Yovo section, and maybe it might find its way onto that pen if it has gold trim on it. Maybe that might happen, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I was so busy. Did the Philly Pen Show happen already?
Yes, this past weekend.
Oh, that's the one that you at first were going to go to, but then the family obligations and soccer games got in the way and stuff like that.
It was track this time, indoor track.
Okay.
Which actually ended up... So what happened was, So my daughter goes to these track events, like usually during the week, and I don't get to make them because they're at work, because I'm at work at that time. But she had one on Saturday. I was like, all right, I'm going to go to this one. And then she ends up not getting selected to go to the track meet, because sometimes they'll only bring varsity, and since she's a freshman, she does junior varsity. So they only brought varsity. They only had so many spots, so she ended up not going.
Okay.
So, but I still found lots of stuff I had to do over the weekend. I took down all the Christmas lights outside and stuff like that. I was just busy around the house the whole weekend.
No,
so.
that's good. That's good. So, you wouldn't have been able to go anyway. But I was swamped also.
Yeah,
myself,
you were knocked out, man.
Yeah.
That's a crazy sickness going on there. Did you?
Yeah.
So you sound a lot better though from.
Oh yeah,
the weekend.
it was harsh but quick. I don't know what it was. It might have been the virus that causes the infection of the zombie that starts the zombie apocalypse. But and then I think that it might be me who, since I'm immune now because I have antibodies, that will be the source of the vaccine, right?
Yes.
And then the build outs of my rifles and my shotgun are just for collection and aesthetic, just to see if I could do it and stuff, which I can. Yeah. So, great. But that's the best case scenario. The zombie apocalypse does not happen, and the build outs are just for fun, which is But if there is a zombie apocalypse, and Tom, God forbid you turn into a zombie, I got to do.
Just give me the herbs. Give me the herbs. Just remember the herbs.
Sure, yeah. But you know what's great?
Yes,
though?
I'll tell you about it. Look at the herb. Look at the herb right over there. Pow!
You know what's cool though? If the what always thought was funny is in the Resident Evil games when you go into your inventory, somehow time just stops.
Yes, you
right.
Could,
So like
the zombie could be like right there. You hit, was it pause or something for the inventory?
Yeah, you go into the
and
inventory.
It's like, yeah, I just need to take a breather right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to go figure out this. How am I going to get out of this situation? I don't know. Where was I at that moment?
Yeah. That great game. Is great time. You know what we should do? We should do like a zombie inspired pen, a theme. Like that's what Retro 51 needs to do. The zombie pen.
They did do a Nightwalkers. That was a while ago. They did Nightwalkers. Which
why didn't they call it zombie?
It.
Why didn't they call it zombie?
I don't know. They just didn't call it zombie, but it was called Nightwalkers. And that was like one of the really, really popular. Like they do awesome work with their scary themes, like the Halloween themes and stuff like that. People love those. And that was like one of the first ones I think that they did a popper on that was just like good stuff.
Don't know if I would call it scary, but yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do a great job with those. So, but anyway,
you've seen Shaun of the Dead, right?
Oh yeah, that was a great movie.
That's such a good movie.
That was a great movie. I wish they did like a sequel or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. I love zombie movies. I think. What do you think the best zombie movie you've ever seen was?
Best one. I mean, like in terms of like like with the comedy wise, I think that's what was my favorite.
Forgetting about just the best zombie movie you have ever seen. Go. There's no conditions. There's no segregations of categories. Best zombie movie. Go.
I'm gonna say 28 Days Later. I like that one a lot.
What about 28 Weeks Later? Did you like that one?
I'd probably say 28 Days Later was better. But I feel like I'm missing one that was like pretty good. Like, what's yours?
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah. Not because it's funny, not because I just thought it was a really good movie that had zombies in it. Mm-hmm. And then, so the thing is, though, I would have said the Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich because I'm in love with her, but I don't want that because they're not the greatest zombie movies, they're just not. Like the only reason I love those movies so much is because she's on the screen and moving around and being really hot. But realistically, I think there are better zombie movies, and I think Shaun of the Dead is definitely one of the most clever takes on zombies, right? And I really enjoyed that one. But
like one of my favorite scenes is when they play "Don't Stop Me Now," the Queen song, and they're like beating on the zombies in the bar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That just was an amazing, funny, like that's such a good movie overall.
Yeah, definitely. I
You
think
might
they should have
wanna
just
watch it.
stayed. They should have just stayed in the apartment, right? It was elevated, right? I mean, why go to the bar? I never got that part, but yeah.
There's
So-
a certain
and-
level of comfort that came with like that's the place that they would always want to hang out in. So it was like naturally the world's gone to shit. So everybody's like just naturally would want to go back to the bar because that was a place of good feelings and fun that they had. So they needed to have something like that in a turbulent.
If
time.
there was a zombie apocalypse, the first thing I would do is go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art or whatever, get into a knight's like armor, right? Because like the zombie's teeth don't become stronger by virtue of becoming a zombie. They can't chew through that. Okay, then I would get the sword. The sword's good for CQB, close quarters, hacking heads off. Then I would sling up my combat shotgun and I'd fill it with buckshot. Right, slugs, are. I feel like buckshot would be better because you get the spread, and then I think I'm set. I would just load up a bandolier with like shells and stuff like that, and do what Jill Valentine and Claire Redfield and Leon S. Kennedy did in Resident Evil. Hit the up button and then lean backwards in an awkward motion to aim up, right? Because they can't they can't just do this, right? They have to lean their whole upper,
Yep.
And
They
then
have
if
to
I
do
have
it
to
with their
turn
back straight.
if I have to turn and run, I'm gonna just turn and walk like that, and then waste time turning before I just take off to the left or right, right? Great games though, great games. I make fun of it because I love it so much. But anyway. Again, thank
played
you
that
guys.
game so
I have
many
to.
more times.
Oh yeah, so many times.
so
But we're
many
gonna wrap this up. So thank you guys for joining us for episode number 183. Holy, we're at 183. Thanks for staying with us. I really do enjoy doing this. This is the highlights of my week, and I hope that you have fun listening to us. Check out the Titan, and keep your eyes. Use the affiliate link. Yeah, check out the affiliate link. Use coupon code TITANIUM at checkout for an additional savings. And keep your eyes open for the Laban pens. Keep your eyes open, especially for the Benu Viper. I mean, it's just so cool. It sounds cool, right? This whole series of Viper pens, although not officially by Benu or luxury brands, I'm going to speak for them, is dedicated to Jake the Snake Roberts. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Love you guys. Be well. Be safe.
Stay inky.